Hi friends, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. It's Teresa. Since we are approaching March, which means spring is just around the corner. So I thought a floral watercolor tutorial is such a great theme to make around this time. And it's also a chance for me to brush up my floral painting skill since I haven't been painting flowers in a long time. Therefore, I'm going to share with you two watercolor floral cards which are super easy and fun to make. These cards are such great ideas to make for your loved ones in this upcoming spring season. Without further ado, let's get started. To begin, I'm going to share with you some of my supplies. For pens, I am going to use the Monio watercolor pen set which I just bought recently. If you're interested, head out to my blog to read my review and first impression. And I also use some colors from Cotman, Winsor, and Newton as well. I am going to use printed round brush size 8 and maybe size 4 for some details. And since I'm going to make greeting cards, I use Canson XL watercolor paper and cut out from a big sheet and fold them into a small card, probably about 5 by 7 inch, and a square format which is about 5 by 5. Feel free to use any supplies of your choice. Other than that, you will need a cup of water and paper towel. And that's pretty much for the supplies. Now let's jump right into the painting part. First, I will choose my color palette and show you how to paint some of the flowers and leaves. I think I already mentioned a lot in all my videos. Putting together a color palette and knowing which color to paint is such a great thing to do before any painting. A harmonious color palette is such a game changer and can enhance your painting, make it look much more cohesive and eye-catching. I will show all the colors I use on the screen here. These colors are inspired by one of the photos of flowers I found on Pinterest. And if you're looking for color theme inspiration, Pinterest is such a great place to start. How I am painting a rose, I start painting the small half-moon shapes in the center with the most saturated color, and then dip my brush into water to remove the pigment and go back to start painting the same half-moon shapes, but this time they become thicker and just kind of go around and stop when you're happy with the size. You also notice that I let the brush touch the center so the color can spread to different areas of the rose and create a very nice gradient. And for leaf, it's just a very simple 2 brushstroke leaf. You just kind of drag the belly of the brush on the paper, create a brushstroke and the other half. That's it. And next, I am going to paint some simple petals flowers. First way is to start dabbing some dots, and from those dots you can use your brush and form different petals for the flowers. It's basically like how we painted the roses. Let the color bleed into the petals area to create a nice gradient effect. Another way is to start to paint the petals and leave negative space in the center, and then I use the most concentrated brownish color and create the stamen by dabbing dots in the center. As you can see, these are super easy flowers to start with, and watercolor tends to dry lighter than it's wet. You can go back and build up the intensity of colors by adding layers just like what I'm doing here. Alright, now we have our color theme ready. We also practiced some flower and leaf shapes. It's time to assemble them together and make beautiful, lovely greeting cards. For the first card design, I want to do like a very simple floral border. I will place a masking tape in the center of the card to leave a space for message, and then start painting the flowers on the top and the bottom of the tape. You can do floral on both left and right side as well if you want. Basically, I just start painting all the flowers that we have practiced in the beginning using the color palette I already mixed. It's just simple as it is. And if there's any tips that I want to give, it's just that I encourage you guys to incorporate different sizes of flowers and paint them in different values, some dark, some light, to create contrast. I usually start with the big flowers first, and then adding some medium and small ones to fill up the space. And if the flowers are already big in size, I tend to have them in light colors. And for the smaller in size, the colors will be more saturated so that you can have not only contrasted sizes, but in colors as well. I hope that what I just explained makes sense. You can always take a break in between and look at them to see if there's any space you need to fill up, if it needs any more contrast, so that you can do adjustment accordingly. Now, I think I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I will stop here and remove the tape, and I also use my gold gel pen to draw the border, and I also add some color for the background as well, and splattering some paint to create some sort of texture. That is also personal reference, you can follow if you like or just leave them blank. So here is the final look of our first card. I am quite happy with how it turned out, especially the colors. I am in love with this color theme. You can write the message in the middle, and it is the perfect card for any occasion like birthday, get well soon, or even a spring card since spring is coming soon. Next, we're going to do the second one. And again, using the same flowers and color palette that we've already prepped in the beginning. First, I am going to grab my round coaster to draw a circle in the center, and then I am going to fill up the 2/3 of the circle from the bottom to the top with flowers. So basically, it will look like a flower garden inside a circle, and the same roof like card number 1. You should incorporate different sizes and shapes and different value in colors. And for this card, I want to do it in more like an illustrative style, and it may require more steps, but don't worry, it's still very easy and doable for all of you who are beginners. And for the remaining part of the circle, I will fill up with colors representing as the sky, so you will see it as a mini landscape with flowers and sky inside the circle. Also for the sky part, I purposely leave it like that so that I can write the card message there on top of the color layers. Now I am done with the inside of the circle. I will start grabbing the indigo and paint gray from Cotman with Sir & Newton to fill up the space outside the circle. Turn it into a night sky. This step is also optional for you, but if you decide to follow me, make sure to use the color in the most concentrated form by adding a minimum amount of water into the pigment, so that you can have a very bold and dark background. I also add some salt onto a certain areas to create texture for the sky and give them a unique look. And now I am using a different brush to splatter some whitewash to create stars. Also, I forgot to mention that make sure the mini landscape inside the circle is completely dry before you go on with the background. Otherwise, the color's gonna spread all over, and that is something you don't want here. I again use my gold gel pen to add different star shapes to give it a bit of sparkle as well. And finally, I go in with my silver gel pen to draw the border. I feel like with the border will make the card look more polished and put together. And now the second card is done. Basically, what I envisioned in my mind when I decide this is the circle represents for the moon, and inside the moon is another mini flower landscape, and outside the moon, the dark background is like a starry night. And it turned out just like what I wanted it to be. So I am very pleased with the result. And when I look at this design, it just reminded me of one of those in children illustration book. So you can make it a card, or you can use it as a wall art for your living room or nursing room. Would be a great idea as well. Alright friends, that is pretty much it for today's tutorial. I hope that you find it helpful and give you a good time to relax and unwind. So if you enjoyed this video, please share and like to support my channel. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss whenever I come out a new video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a nice day and see you in my next one. Bye!